Hello, and welcome back to the Goon Squad Radio podcast. My name is Bryan Hops, and with me, Mr. Jacob Wyckoff.
Trevor Starkwind, let's do this!
Ryan Siller.
LittleRobotSoundFactory.
And Joseph Smeckle.
Odor K-Pike, scared of tears.
Scared of what?
Terrors.
I don't know if he said taters or terrors.
Night terrors.
Scared of terrors.
Night terrors. Okay.
I'm afraid of night taters as well.
The thing.
Taters at night scare me.
The thing that
Nightshades are bad for your health, if you eat too many of them.
Oh wait, no, it was a cave. It was a cave terror.
It was a cave terror, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, well, that's a perfect segue into our recap. So, last session, upon finding the sunken city, our squad met with one of Azona Ri's lieutenants named Zephyr, and they realized they had been followed by a cave terror. The squad reluctantly fell back to the courtyard, wary of an ambush, and stood their ground against the cave terror. And, after a close battle in which Delvilos and his angel Shannon dealt the final blow, the squad stood victorious. Zephyr thanked them for their help and began leading them towards Azona's keep, and that brings us to where we are now. So I present to you, once again, Ale Lucentia. So if you gentlemen will follow me, we can start making our way there now.
Yeah, who's this talking to us again?
This is Zephyr.
Zephyr.
He is Azona Ri's lieutenant.
Awesome. So here we are, beaten up, covered in goop.
Yeah, you guys are in like the courtyard of like the main part of this underground city, and you are walking towards what looks like a palace.
Awesome. All right. How do you guys feel about this? I'm pretty nervous.
Yeah, I guess kind of like as we're walking over there, kind of like pull back a little bit and just being like, hey, so essentially we're just gonna hear him out, and ultimately, hopefully, it's nothing too crazy, but of course we're ready to like take him in.
Yeah, I don't know if we should tell Elise that we're here right now, or even Squad B, because it looks like if we go in here alone, then that's it. But I don't think we have a way of contacting him, right? Like we don't have those little elf ear communicators.
No, I don't think so. I think we're pretty much, we told them where we're at beforehand, but that's really about it.
Well, then let's try to get as much information as we can. Honestly, like us three versus this entire city. That might be like a long stretch to try to like, VIP situation, like escort this guy out of here. So if we can just get like information and then maybe see another way to get in or out of here, then we can go tell Elise on that after we hear this guy out, in case it's something that, doesn't seem right.
I can get behind that. I would say definitely, hopefully, if we can, we kind of get alone with him so we at least get a head start to make it out of here. But
okay,
we'll have some exit strategies, worst case.
Cool. Before I go in, I want to do like just a quick check-in, like a quick prayer with Torm, just because this is like a really big split. It's a really hard decision of what can go on next. I kind of want to get a little guidance.
Yeah, what do you like? You hold your amulet?
Yeah, just hold my amulet. Yeah, kind of like bow my head a little bit. Try to like find that little middle point where I can try to like contact or talk to him.
Delvilos, go ahead and make a religion check for me.
All right. That is an 18.
Delvilos, you grab your amulet, and as you guys are walking, you like close your eyes for just a second, and you see a vision of just like calm waters, like standing on a sandy beach, calm waters, clear skies, and everything just seems very calm and very serene.
Awesome. I feel like a little wave of warmth just goes over me, like reassurance, like, okay, awesome. And I go forward. Yeah, I follow this guy.
Great. You guys follow Zephyr and this other woman up towards this kind of like keep palace-like structure. And you notice that by the front gates at the main entrance, they look like people made out of stone. And as you get closer, you notice that they have on like essentially like full body compression like wear and armor, including like solid obsidian appearing helmets that just cover their entire face. And they stand very still, very solemnly, and don't move. And then you see, like, as you guys approach, they snap to attention, hands to their swords. Zephyr waves his hand up, and you guys walk in through the front door. You enter inside, and it is a large central hallway, chamber type thing. And down the hallway, there's a singular carpet that runs from like one end to the next, and then several doors along the sides. It's got a pretty tall ceiling, not like Sistine Chapel tall, but like a tall enough ceiling. But what's odd is there's no paintings or murals or anything along the walls. The building is built in a way that it's very grand and ornate, but it has no decorations, no like finery or details or pizzazz, if you will.
It's modern style. That's what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, it's minimalist.
Gotcha,
if you will.
minimalist.
Back
Are
in the
there
day,
floor-to-ceiling windows that we see?
Only one at the very far end.
Jeez, that's freaking dope. All right.
This reminds me of my first igloo.
Your igloo is this big?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's just the same feeling.
Same.
You
I
know.
gotcha. Like secure, safe.
Yeah.
Interesting. We'll have to talk about these igloos later.
It's a little chilly in here, if I do say so myself.
Can you build an igloo right now, Odor?
What?
Never mind. Another day.
Okay. You guys keep walking, and you get to a door, like alongside one of the walls, and Zathir looks at you and he says, when we enter the room, this will be a moment for you to kind of take off all of your weapons so that you can meet Mr. Rai on an even ground. We ask that you do not attempt violence and that you come forward peacefully, and we will reciprocate the same.
Well, see, we have this issue because I can't remove my arms, so those are my weapons.
Well, then
of
we ask
steel.
that you refrain from using
My weapons
any-
of mass destruction.
I roll my eyes so hard.
Question. I know I tried this earlier. Is there a way I can use prestidigitation to kind of make a sound that's a little distracting off in the distance and then sink a dagger in my boot?
Yes, you can. You need to roll a deception check for me.
Cool. With advantage because they're distracted?
No.
Damn. Okay.
Are you distracted?
Yeah, see, Odor says, are you distracted? Advantage?
No.
Damn. Okay. Ooh, that's 12.
Yeah, you use prestidigitation, and down at the end of the hallway, you make it sound like a vase has fallen over and broken, and you see that neither of the other two turn to look at it, and they're just watching you guys take your armor and like weapons off.
I'm taking all my weapons off and everything. I kind of like symbol over to my gauntlet, and I was like, does this count?
Do you intend to use it in a violent manner?
No.
Have you used it in a violent manner in the past?
Yes, to defend myself.
Then we would ask that you remove it.
Okay, I remove it. There goes my shield too.
As you guys are kind of like dropping your weapons in a stack on the floor, a couple guards emerge from out of a different doorway and walk over to you to kind of start collecting things and taking them. Is anybody attempting to like not take or not drop any weapons, anything other than Trayvorn?
I just stripped down almost completely, and then I asked, do you guys need to search my nether regions? So,
I don't believe so. We trust that you're not carrying any weapons there. Yes.
okay. I just, last time I had to do this, they searched my nether regions, so.
Oh, okay. I understand.
Yeah.
And
The big cling.
Now's not the time for this.
big
Maybe-
we don't
Maybe just keep
we
the
don't
pants
need
on,
you
but-
to strip that far down.
Or we can talk about this later if you're feeling like some PTSD from it or something. Like you might need to.
Were
like,
you in
talk to
prison?
someone.
You never told us. Were you in prison?
Okay, now's not the time. We need
You're
everyone
right,
right
I
now.
just
Just
said
all this tomfoolery. We're about to go meet Azona Ri. We need to look professional. Okay, this is Goon Squad. We're representing we're not Squad B. We're A. We're better. We're better.
Wait, we're Squad A?
I don't know if we're Squad G, I thought. Shit. All right, let's go.
You see this here goes, all right, well, and he like opens the door. You guys walk in to this dark room, and then you enter a staircase that goes down and then turns in like a U-turn. You go down another staircase, and you walk through a couple more hallways that are all faintly lit by just small bottles with glowing orbs in them that just kind of like keep everything dimly lit in this hallway. You get to this room at the end, and Zathir knocks twice and then opens, and you enter a library, is I think the best way to attempt to describe this. And you see at one end is a table. You see the man you assume or know to recognize as Azona Ri is in just a simple tunic, no like garb or anything else. He's sitting with a book in front of him. There's books and scrolls stacked all along the wall, and a chandelier kind of hangs above the center of the room with a series of candles that are all lit, dripping. It's faintly lit, and he's got a candle next to him on the desk. And yeah.
How many other people are in the room besides him? Like, did 2 guards walk up with us? So there's just 2 guards?
You walk into the room, you see Azona Ri. You have Zathir next to you, the other woman whose name you don't know yet. And you see in the corner of the room, there is a person in like kind of darker armor. Will someone roll me a perception check? Or all 3 of you roll me a perception check.
Oof, 9.
That's a natural 1, but 4.
15.
Yeah, you guys look over in the corner and you see they're in this armor. It's like leather work. It's very dark, like colored leather work, almost black. As they sit with their, like they stand in the corner with their arms crossed, and as their head kind of like tilts up to look and see who enters the room, you notice that their skin is almost porcelain white. Like it looks almost artificial and non-human.
Cool. Gotcha.
So Zathir turns to Azona and he says, "Sir, your guests have arrived." And you see Azona stands up. "Gentlemen, hello."
Zona, last time I saw you, I was in space.
Yeah, space magic.
Last time I saw you, you were robbing Mr. Trayvorn's home here, and you just kind of disappeared on me before we had a chance to talk.
I apologize. However, now we have plenty of time to talk.
Can you send me to the space realm again? That was kind of fun.
Are you? Do you want to go to the space realm? Like, is this?
No. Maybe later.
Let's grab some seats, guys. And
okay, yes, please have a seat. And you see he gets up and walks out from behind his desk, and there is kind of like in a little alcove between 2 of the bookshelves, another separate room with like a table at it. And he sits you down and he says, "Zathir, would you grab us some tea, please?" And Zathir nods and like walks out of the room. "So, gentlemen, what is it that I can do for you?"
You could turn yourself in.
An interesting offer, a bold proposition. However, I will have to respectfully decline.
Yeah, it's worth a shot.
And I commend you for it, Mr. Starkwind.
So, what is your interest with my dad's research?
Trayvorn, your father did a great amount of research on the stars and the plotting of celestial bodies. However, creating stasis in a planet causes negative effects for those that live there. Do you understand what I mean? It makes it difficult for creatures to evolve naturally when they are living in direct sunlight consistently, or those less fortunate living in direct darkness consistently.
Why don't they just light a candle?
All right. Mr. Starkwind, do you have any other questions?
Well, the thing is, so you're telling me that he's doing research related to it because obviously, so I guess the night and day issue is what's going on here. He's just doing some research into that. I mean, don't see how that's really revolutionary or anything like that. I mean, obviously we have the sun because we don't want any of, the specters and everything coming back out. I mean, that does sound pretty bad. I mean, it would be nice to have night and day, but let's be honest, that's not going to happen.
And why don't you think that can happen?
I mean, am I the only one here who done my history checks? I'm just saying, last time the world was almost thrown into eternal night.
Now, were you told that the world was almost thrown into eternal night? Or were you told that the world would simply have to suffer the effects of nighttime again?
I say, from what I understand, the fact that we're in constant daylight, I'm assuming it wouldn't be just the effects of nights. I'm assuming it'd be eternal night.
And that, Mr. Starkwind, is why your father's research was so important. Because assuming eternal night means you assume that only bad things will happen. However, if we are to send Realm back into rotation, we get to experience both.
But at the same time, why would you want to experience night when a lot of bad things happen? So far, it seems like in the day, it seems like everything's been going pretty great.
Are these people that are down here, underground here, because they can't be out in the sun?
Not so much that they can't be out in the sun, more so that Solstice and the other governing bodies have decided that they are not allowed to be.
Based
My
on
concern
what?
is various reasons. My concern is not only of the people that live underground, but the people that live on the opposite side.
You mean above ground?
I'm sorry, the what?
The people who live on the opposite side
Of
Ale Lucentia. Yes. That's the important part of your father's research, is that the way this planet would rotate if it was conical is different than the way it would rotate if it were flat, similar to a coin.
Isn't it flat like a coin?
Oh, ours is like a cone, right?
It is flat like a coin. People have assumed it's flat like a cone and that there's nothing on the other side. On the other side, there are people who have been left and abandoned by Solstice, other governing bodies, and I would like to give them a chance at daylight as well.
Do you have any proof about this? How do we know you're not just mumbling and jumbling so that, we look past this and we don't arrest you for the crimes that you've done? Like, do you have any proof or anything like tangible that to prove what you're talking about, or are you just blowing hot air?
Right now, this sounds like a lot of mumbo jumbo. Hit us with the facts.
I don't have any solid, hard evidence here. What I can tell you is that should you request it, I can send you with a guide to go see for yourself the way people must live on the other side. But they're very sparse, nomadic people. They don't have anywhere to set down roots. They live in darkness and ice.
Ice.
And what do you hope to achieve whenever you get there? To bring them back, to turn things back to how they were, to let them run wild on the other side and ravage the city and destroy everything?
What do you mean?
What's your goal here? Is to bring everything back to normal, but what if those people on the other side were put there on purpose? What if they aren't good?
Well, then I think that determines what do you interpret as good versus bad.
I nod thoughtfully.
Are they trying to cause more chaos, essentially? The thing is, if they're nomadic and you have a way to get there, why haven't you just been smuggling them in the whole time and they could just assimilate to our society? Why go to the process of making a night and a day when we could just lead those people, if they've been left like you said, just lead them back to the surface?
Well, if there are people on the other side, if there is an entire civilization, I think they deserve to benefit from the protection of the light too, if that's true. But that's kind of preposterous, assuming that Solstice itself did all of this and that it's all just a cover-up.
Yeah, the fact that there'd be a whole nother world on the if you just go straight down, there's a whole nother world.
And I was gonna say, can we start digging to the other side? I haven't dug that deep. I've dug 20 feet once. That was my maximum. I counted.
Yeah, is that how it works? Could you just dig straight to the other side?
If you followed the tunnels long enough, you would eventually emerge on the other sides, yes.
So you're saying, if we get some earth magic, we can make a tunnel to the other side.
This is one big block of cheese with holes and tunnels.
Cheese?
We're floating on one giant
cheese.
I knew it.
Back to your question, Mr. Starkwind. When you asked why wouldn't these people just be allowed on this side, have you seen the way Dragonborns are treated in Lanutian? People that don't look the same, people that don't act the same, are oftentimes considered outcasts, rejected, and to bring in an entire planet or region worth of people would throw a drastic imbalance that Solstice, that Brother Autumn's grip, are not prepared to handle. So what is our next best option?
Throw the world back into a day and night cycle and incorporate more chaos? If they can't handle it now, whenever there's night back, you think they're going to be able to handle it then?
I believe so. I believe that Solstice is resourceful enough to come up with a solution.
I don't think we had horses for a long time, so I don't know about resourcefulness, so...
It's a valid point.
How long would it take for us to get there?
From here, about 2 days travel. That's barring you don't run into any Banderhobs, Cave Fishers, Chitonites, the Chuldrith, Ettercaps, Grick, or the Firenewts.
Ah, the Firenewts. I think I can become friends with the Firenewts.
So this seems a little convenient. Pull us down here and tell us your big plan, and then send us into the caves and kill us.
You don't have to go into the caves. I am just telling you what I hope to accomplish.
Do you mind if we take a minute and kind of have a team huddle?
Well, real
Absolutely.
Quick though.
I have yes.
Why? Why do all this?
Because I was hoping, Mr. Starkwind, that you, like your father, would be understanding enough of the plights of people on the other side.
I don't think I've met anybody from the other side.
Your father has. He lives there now, plotting stars, attempting to figure out how to revert the rotation.
He's alive?
You're not that old. Yes, he's alive.
I'm
Alright, team huddle.
flabbergasted. I'm like,
Yeah, team huddle.
wow.
And you see Azona goes, I will go check on Zathir and the tea. I will return momentarily.
Yeah, that tea's taking a long time.
And he gets up and walks away from you guys.
Are you filling out a Yelp review, Odor?
What?
The
I
tea was
I need some
scrumptious and
hospitality over here. A little bit of hospitality.
It was
yes,
hard to
indeed.
find. It was hard to
just-
find.
Yeah.
Okay, team huddle. I don't know about you guys, but I'm all for going over there and checking things out and coming back. But I am a little worried maybe we should, contact Team B or something, or like, I wish that there was a way that we could let a message out, but it seems that we can't.
The thing that I'm conflicted because that was my first thought as well. I was like, yeah, we need to get back to service and at least let Team B know where we're at, let them know where Azona Ri is. But I'll be honest, I mean, at this point, my dad's alive. I didn't think so. He's been gone for years. I mean, and he's trying to help out these people. There's a lot more to this that I feel like I should know, but I don't. But at the moment, I think this is, at this point, if we go back and tell Squad B, Azona's pretty much done. Because Solstice will, want to storm this area, take over the city, and that'll be that. So, if y'all about it, so let's make that track. Let's make that journey.
Thank you.
Yes, I am excited to get myself friends with the Firenewts. I don't know what a Firenewt is, but I feel like I can become friends with him. We can reach a mutual understanding.
If not, Odor, are you okay with killing him?
Oh yeah, violence is always the second option.
Okay, sweet, great.
Wait, what about if you're at a store and you don't have a card?
I want to go see what's going on. If there are people on the other side, then I think we have to figure out what's going on. Maybe we can link up with your dad.
Can I go walk to the people in the room? The guys with the faces?
You want to go where?
Please don't.
The guy with the faces?
The guy with the faces?
portal- yeah.
the guards.
Yeah.
Before you go to the guards, can I just pull you? So Odor, look at me, look at me in my eyes. Me and Del, we got this. We're planning to go to the other side. Are you with us?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I want to meet these Firenewts.
Don't kill these guards.
I can't kill these guards. They're probably not even real.
I'm gonna be behind him as he's walking.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for Azona Ri to come back.
Great. So Odor, you go to the other room to talk to the person with the porcelain skin.
Yes.
Okay. Trayvon, are you going with Odor?
Yes, just to keep an eye on him.
Okay. You two walk to the room. Delvilos, you stay seated at the table. After a moment, Azona walks back in, holding a plate with teacups on it and a tea kettle. And he sits down and he goes, so Delvilos, tell me, what is it you're hoping to accomplish?
I would say this is just more of a scouting mission for information to see what exactly is on the other side. And I gotta admit, just a little curious to see what is going on. And I kind of had bad feelings, a while ago about Solstice, and now I just kind of want to get things cleared up so I can have my head straight.
I know, Delvilos. I apologize for putting, I guess, thoughts of distrust and insecurity in your mind about Solstice. I saw it the first time you and I spoke.
Yeah, well, here we are.
Here we are. How is Solstice doing?
I think they're handling a lot of new zesty recruits.
Good. It's always fun meeting new people. Is that Cook still there?
Oh,
the old
Shannon?
lady.
Well, no, not Shannon. What was her name?
Susan.
No, oh gosh,
Susan? Little Susan?
Oh yes, Susan. Yeah, she's great. Hot little number.
She's still kicking. Good lord, she must be 500 by now.
500. She looks more like 400, you know?
Oh my god.
How's Coetzee, Delvilos?
Coetzee's great. He really likes Trayvorn. Trayvorn fought him in that little initiation phase or whatever.
As you say that, Azona gets an interesting like smirk across his face, and he lifts one of his eyebrows. He goes, Trayvorn fought Coetzee.
Yeah, it went pretty well. You know, he actually held his own ground for a little bit.
Interesting.
Have you so it seems like you know Coetzee from, did you guys go to the Solstice Academy together?
Well, Delvilos, Coetzee was in charge when I was an agent. And that was over 300 years ago.
Wow. Coetzee's pretty old. I didn't know that.
Coetzee is very old. Almost to the point where it argues and begs the question, how? And how does someone live that long?
Can I do a check? What race was I don't know, race or creature. What was Coetzee? Was he an elf?
Coetzee is a human.
Just a human?
Yeah, he just appears to be human.
And he's that old? Do you know how he got that little fountain of youth?
Delvilos, I don't want to put any more distrust in Solstice in you and in your mind. However, I believe that Coetzee is up to very, very dark things.
Well, I'm already in the splash zone and I'm already wet, so if I have to jump in the pool, I have to jump in the pool.
An interesting choice of analogy, but I appreciate it.
Thank you. I love SeaWorld. I don't know if you've been.
I haven't. That's in Briozinia?
Yes, it's amazing. Very sad for the animals, but the joy that you get from watching them is incredible.
Okay. And you see he like looks down into his tea very reflectively and pensively, and he takes a sip and he goes, Delvilos, I believe, and I can't prove it yet, that the reason you don't see any old agents is because Coetzee is doing something with them to keep himself youthful and prevent the rotation of the planet.
That's some pretty heavy stuff, Azona.
I worked with the man for over 200 years, and I never saw him age a day. And I never saw us bury any agents, but people started disappearing. And correlation does not equal causation. But it really makes you think.
Okay, that's really dark. This tea is amazing, by the way.
Oh, isn't it lovely?
It has a nice spice to it. It's nice.
Yeah, it's we trade with the Firenewt sometimes.
Oh wow. I'm gonna have to get more of that whenever we go down there and meet with them.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
You really must.
Yeah.
We're gonna cut over to Odor and Trayvorn in the other room.
How did I miss this?
Yeah, so you guys are in this other room. With you, there's the person with the porcelain face. Zathir is in the room waiting as well with the other woman who you guys met at the gate.
Odor, why do you want to see? Why do you want to meet this person?
I need. Can I roll for a sniff check?
Roll perception for a sniff check, I guess.
That's gonna be that's gonna be a dirty 20.
You are podcast.
Odor, you stand you guys are kind of in like a half circle thing. This person is still just in the corner, hasn't said anything to you. You guys are standing, Zathir's looking at you pensively, like wondering why you guys just walked back in this room. And Odor, you just turn and take a big old whiff in the direction of this person in the corner, and you don't smell anything. You smell like the leather of their armor, but you don't smell any like human scent is what we'll call it.
Interesting. I'm going to walk closer. And then I'm going to peer into their eyes.
As he does this, can I ask, Are you from the other side?
You see the person looks up to meet Odor's gaze, and their eyes are like solid black, but their skin appears to be made out of like fine, like their stone has a little bit of like a sheen to it, and they don't have any pores or any like wrinkles or texture to their face. And you see they just shake their head no.
Can I touch your face?
They shake their head no again.
Can I touch your eyes?
They shake their head no again.
Can I touch your arm?
Mr. Kopak, I would ask that you refrain from bothering our guest.
The guest? I thought they were guards.
No, the guards are all outside.
Oh, these are just...
This is one of Miss...
Oh, this is very unhospitable. Hospitality. Very hospitality.
Very unhospitable.
Very unhospitable.
No, this is one of Mr. Rye's guests.
Oh, so this is why they're not talking. Can they talk?
No. They don't have any sort of vocal cords.
Can they screech?
They don't have vocal cords, Odor.
They can screech, though. Are they cold?
You see Zathir looks and goes, I don't have these answers for you.
What are they?
Can I ask if so where did they come from if they're not from the quote-unquote other side that now exists?
Well, they're not from the other side. They're from the remnants of the Fourth Court.
The Fourth Court?
Astera? Did they not teach you these things?
To be honest, I was in the north, and I was in prison, and now I'm here, so that's my whole backstory.
Okay. That's an interesting one. I understand why you don't know. Mr. Starkwood, please come with me. And he walks you over to one of the bookshelves, and you see like an old book that just says Astera on it. Mm-hmm. And he like brushes the dust off the spine, pulls it down, and hands it to you. And on like the cover is a drawing of like directly in the center, like it's a drawing of Ali Lucentia with like what you know today as like a slightly different Glaciatera, Briozinian, Redorian, but then there's a fourth like landmass in the direct center of them.
I guess technically, isn't that like where like the islands are and everything?
That's exactly correct.
But what happened to the fourth? What happened to the fourth continent?
I guess they really did weed out all the information. And he kind of like just hands you the book and goes, I implore you to peruse.
I guess can I just do like a quick snippet of it, like take a quick look?
Yeah. Roll me a perception check as you're just flipping through this book.
Jesus, that's a 7.
You can read.
Yeah, you can read. It's great. As you are like flipping through this book, you see kind of just like broad sweeps of like culture and like drawings of like magnificent ruins and things like that, and like a giant like temple almost at the center of this great land. And as you're kind of going through all of it, you see this like rich tapestry of culture that you kind of like know of parts of, and you recognize things that have like changed over 2,000 years from the course of like just things being lost or whatever. And Zathir looks at you and he goes, great sacrifices were made so that people could live in a world where they weren't attacked by specters, some greater than necessary. This fine individual, and points over to the person with like the porcelain skin, goes, their people were lost and, for lack of better terms, sacrificed so that the rest of the realm may live.
I thank you for your service.
And you see they kind of like look up at Odor and just have like a puzzled look across their face.
Sacrifice makes us all strong.
All right, I'm gonna look at Seth here and I'll be like, I guess if you don't mind, I'm gonna hold on to this, do a little bit reading in this, just kind of get some more information, I guess, over time, if you don't mind. Yeah,
absolutely. But before you leave the city, we would ask that you give it back. It's one of few copies that remain.
Understood. All right. In that case, I'll pocket the book for now, and I'll lead Odor back into to the chamber so we can talk to Azona Ri and I guess get some plans going to get to the other side.
So yes, Delphalis, you were saying Susan, she's doing well, right?
Susan, yeah, she's great. Yeah.
Yeah, Susie's a sweetheart.
Makes
Has she finally learned how to like actually prepare food that looks edible?
Yes, so you made some very good jailed fish the other
I
day
reach for my
me.
sword, but I realize it's not there. Her food is amazing. Her chicken salad is supreme.
Oh, interesting. Yes, back when I ate, it was a lot of rice and beans. When I went through
Festive.
the academy.
Probably because we're better than you, but
Oh my god. No, yeah, some of the food does look questionable still, but you know, she comes through every now and then. She even made Odor a specialty of jellied fish, which was a fish inside of a block of jello.
That sounds about right.
Alright. But the fisheye, though, gave me a lot of power and strength.
We actually had a fight on
Interesting.
our first day inside of the cafeteria, believe it or not.
Oh wow, no shit.
Yeah, absolutely. We wrecked them.
Well, that's very good. I
I look over to Dell and I'm just like, yes, we wrecked them.
Yep. hmm
I would say that does not surprise me. You three made short work of your comrades when we first met in Lanusian.
Yeah, that wasn't really cool, by the way, to pit us against each other. But you know, you got to do what you got to do.
Yes.
so my question to you is, if you do have all this space magic, why haven't you just possessed someone to send it back in and killed Coatsy and then take over the realm?
You see, he just kind of stops and like stares very pensively at a wall for a second.
I look at Odor just like, thank God he's on our side.
You bring up a good point. However, again, someone who has lived significantly longer than their normal lifespan would allow, I don't think a regular person that I could possess could take them out.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Okay, so well,
Well,
You said it was going to be a 2-day trip?
yeah, just point us to the Firenewts and Firenewts will do the rest.
beforehand, do you have any, you know, sort of maybe a potion or magic bathtub or?
Can we rest here before we head out?
Can we?
Yes, you're welcome to take a break, rest inside the city. I must inquire, however, do you believe that anybody else will come looking for you
Oh,
if you
no.
are gone for too long?
No, everyone thinks we're dead anyway.
Yeah, I
so
think
it's fine.
we've been doing our own thing. We talked to, yeah, we have our bases covered. I don't want to give too much away, but we have our bases covered.
We should be okay.
You're positive. I just ask for the safety of myself and the people that entrust me to keep them safe.
Interesting. Okay, so we can rest here.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can rest here.
Cool.
So,
You're more than welcome. You will be safe inside the city so long as you do not cause any problems. You're welcome to any amenities as you see fit.
as a, I would say, a sign of trust, could you impart any of that space magic on me?
I think he wants you to banish him for a little bit.
Would you like to be banished to a different plane, or
No, I
Would
want.
you like to-
I want the power of the space magic.
oh, you would like the power? Okay. I will do you. I can't just grant you the power of the space magic. However, can I let you fellows in on a secret? You gentlemen.
Sure.
Why not?
How secret?
As you guys are like looking at him, you see like a tattoo, like just underneath part of his tunic, starts to like writhe down his arm and like move across his skin. And he goes, "We have been tampering with ways to infuse magic into the body, and that is, if you are interested in something, we can kind of work with you on."
I gotta ask. You know, I know we're kind of in league at the moment together. Why are you giving us so much faith?
Yeah, I second that. You have a lot of faith for 3 Solstice
Yeah.
agents.
That you just met.
Because I feel like if you were going to have killed me, you would have attempted it already.
Yes, absolutely. Because
Yeah,
we could
actually,
have,
that's-
you know, we
Yep.
absolutely could have. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, with these guns.
Speaking of, if we're gonna go that way, can we get our weapons back?
Are the Newts famous?
Not that we don't trust you, but at the
Or
moment,
better yet, I don't care what you do. I just wanted to know if you can like get my sword and like make it magical. I would pay heavily in favor.
let's walk and talk through this.
Okay.
You guys all get up. You see he grabs his like cup of tea, and then his tattoo like reaches down his fingers onto the cup, and it starts heating up again in his hand, and then like it rises back up into like below his tunic.
Interesting.
And he starts walking.
Space magic.
Walk with me.
Space
I follow.
Yeah, we go with them.
As you guys are walking like out of his little tea room back through his library / office, he waves at the person with porcelain skin. He goes, I will return shortly and we can continue our meeting at that time. I'm so sorry. And he walks out the door.
How do you speak with them?
Oh, they can understand you, they just can't speak.
But what do you tell them? Like, you know, like, why do you know they're here?
Why do I know they're here?
Yeah, like, they're just like, yeah, well, you want some jailed fish, or like,
No, I don't understand your question.
like, if they can't communicate, then they can understand, but it's just like talking to a dog, you know? Like, what do you want?
Well, they can write.
Oh, they can
They
write.
use a form of sign language.
Oh.
They just can't communicate verbally.
Oh. Well, no, that's a shame.
You see, as you guys like walk out of the palace and start like making your way down the street, you just, well, yes, it is quite a shame. It's a side effect of the way they chose to preserve themselves in time. Instead of progressing forward in their civilization underground, they wanted to await for a moment that they could re-emerge. They sort of transmuted themselves to turn themselves into people made of stone and ceramic and other granular materials that last eons instead of bodies of flesh and blood.
Interesting.
So you're saying they can get rock hard?
This podcast is PG-13.
I don't know that I'm familiar with that term,
Oh, okay.
but they are all very strong and powerful individuals.
I bet they are.
And you see, he walks down and he goes, Odor, if you would like to take a moment, we can step into this parlor and I can show you a thing or two about the space magic that we have began to work with.
Okay, space magic. I'm always down for a little bit of space magic.
Great. You guys walk into, it looks like a blacksmith shop. There is a there's a stove in the corner, but it also looks like a blacksmith shop mixed with a tattoo parlor because there's like parchment on the walls with like drawings and things scribbled on them. And then there's a series of about like 10-inch long just iron like dowels that all have just been like coated in different runes and different color like paints and whatever. And there is a short, stout man with like a long beard and a bald head by the end. He goes, "Oi, Mr. Rai, you got some new men?" He goes, "Yeah, yes, I do." He goes, "If you would please, Mr. Kopak, are you interested in any space magic? It's a slightly painful procedure. However, it will benefit you greatly in the long run."
Space magic. I'll do it for the space magic. Yes, the space magic is important.
Great. And he looks and he gestures to the wall and he goes, "You can pick any one of these designs and it will grant you the power of space magic, as you keep referring to it as."
That is so fucking cool.
Azona kind of looks at you and goes, "Do any of these speak to you, Mr. Kopak?"
Which one's the space magic? The spaciest of the space magic.
The spaciest of the space magic? I believe that depends on what you would like it to do and what you determine to be the most spatial of magic. I believe the Illuminator or the Shadowfell are the two most quote-unquote space magic-y.
Is that a number 3? Yes. Mm-hmm.
No, those are the fourth one and the seventh one.
The seventh one. Okay. What do they do?
Well, the side effects are not quite determined yet in terms of what exactly they do. They'll always have a different outcome, but we aim for specific things to happen. This Illuminator's mark will allow you to speak telepathically to people. I don't really know what exactly the parameters of it are. It's only been tried a couple times, and unfortunately it was tried on guards who were then attacked by cave terrors and lost their ability to communicate at all because, well, they were dissolved by the cave terror. So
Yes,
yes.
a shame. Big shame. Sacrifice is eternal. Okay, so I'm gonna do number 3. What does that do? What is number 3?
number 3.
Yeah.
All right.
Does that turn me into
number
a
3.
space ninja?
I'm not familiar with the term ninja, but
Oh.
the third one has, from time to time, we've seen when distributed to people, has caused them to phase in and out of existence is not necessarily the appropriate
You have me
word,
sold.
but
Do it.
become incorporeal, I believe, is the best way.
You don't have to explain
that-
it. You don't have to explain
okay.
it. Just put it on there. I want that space magic. I want it now.
Okay, if you'll have a seat in the chair, you see the short man with like the beard and the bald head walks over to the like iron or to the oven in the corner and takes a rod that's got like a kind of rune on it and like a shadowy essence to it, and he like sticks it into the oven and he like pumps a bunch of air and the oven turns bright hot and he brings this burning hot red rod over to you. And he goes, "All right, sir, I'm gonna need you to take one good deep breath for me." And you see he sticks it to your skin. Odor, make a Constitution saving throw.
Before he does it, can I cast Enhance Ability?
Yeah.
Do I have the spell slot for it? I only have one spell slot for it. And it's
Oh,
going to
no.
Odor. My last level 2.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
Do it twice.
I got a 18.
18. Odor, you feel like Trevorn and Delvilas. You guys see just this burning red rod get approached to Odor's bicep, and what looks like should be a searing pain and agony as it like just dissolves onto his skin into like a pool and then forms into like the shape of a tattoo on his arm. He just doesn't react. He just kind of looks over at the guy like blank face.
Jeez.
And you see
It must not hurt that
the
bad.
guy who like administered the tattoo looks at Azona Ri and he just like eyes bug wide and just goes, "Mr. Kopak, you are a very, very strange individual."
Yes. I come from the north, so.
Well, would any of you other gentlemen, as a sign of good faith, in that I am not attempting to harm you, would any of you also like any form of infused marking?
I look over at Drakeborn.
Odor, did it hurt?
Oh, no, not that bad. No.
Oh,
no. It
nice.
was-
That's awesome.
All right, then. Yeah, I guess I'll follow up. Hook me up with number 2. I'll get it on the forum.
All right, and you see the short man with the beard walks over, grabs another one that's got like, it looks fragmented and like splintered, like it's held together partially by just smoke that connects like all the different pieces, and he like puts it in the oven, heats it up, walks over to Trayvon and he goes, "All right, take a deep breath for me, sir."
And I bless him, by the way. Cast level 1 bless on him.
I get a +4, right?
D4.
Nice. 11.
Trayvon, you see this burning red iron come up to your arm, and it pokes in, and it feels like your arm is about to fall off. As this searing pain enters your skin, creates a giant pool of just red and like black swirl, and then forms into the shape of the claw-grabbing shadows.
Ah, son of a bitch. All right, yeah, no, that was...
Drakeborn, that one didn't look... That one didn't look pleasant at all.
It was fine. It was great. It was perfect. It was
Has
great.
anyone...
Looks great, though. Might be infected,
Yeah.
but looks great.
Does it look infected?
No, it looks fine.
Wow.
Oh.
Look over at the bearded man. You do great work. What's your name?
She kind of nods. Oh, my name's Steven.
Steven? Nice to meet you. What's your dad's name?
No, Steven.
Where are you from,
wait.
Steven? What's your background? What's your deal? Tell me more about you. I just want to hear about you, Steven.
Oh well, I'm not that important of a person in this storyline right now.
Okay. I see. Okay.
I see.
You had
I
been
see.
Storyline. What story?
But if you really need to know, I came from Briozinia. I grew up on the shores near what was formerly the land of summer, the islands.
Oh, we got the shore boy over here. Shore boy.
A very, very
Sure
old
boy.
man.
Interesting. Very, very well. Very well. You're right. That was boring. I shouldn't have asked you. I would like one of those tattoos as well. Number 5 looks pretty appealing.
Oh, the resurrection one. Understood. And you see he walks over and he grabs one that shimmers with kind of like a gold essence to it, and he sticks it in the oven, heats it up, turns around and he goes, "All right, sir, one good deep breath for me." And before you can finish taking your deep breath in, he shoves it into your arm.
You're not a very
Roll
nice.
your Constitution check.
I don't know. I just
That's
mentioned
a
that.
16.
16. Yeah, it stings a little bit, but it doesn't feel that bad as it kind of just absorbs into your arm. And after this like gold and black swirl fades away, it has the emblem of a coffin with a light shining out of it.
Sweet. That looks great. I love it. Thank you for your work, Steve. You are truly an artist.
Steve.
Hmm?
Steve.
Steve, that's exactly what I'm saying.
No, shh. There's a shh at the beginning. Steve.
What did we just get?
So we've been experimenting with how to infuse magic into the body with less conventional forms, and to kind of put it in a way that makes sense. Your friend Mr. Kopak here, he has received the shadow or the ghost step marking. Mr. Starkwind, I believe, correct? He has received the what we refer to as the Eldritch Claw marking, and you, sir, have received the Lifewell marking.
Sweet.
And all of these, of course, are experimental. They have no known adverse side
Oh,
effects.
Jesus.
Oh.
What have you done to me?
As long as my hands don't get any smaller, I'll be fine.
You do have tiny
No
hands.
one's hands have gotten smaller from receiving
Have
tattoos.
your hands always been that tiny?
Yeah, I look over. How is he even able to hold axes? One
You
hand?
can't even get a
That's
full
so
grip
small.
on the hilt of the axe. Is that what you've been trying to make your own to like accommodate your tiny, tiny little hands?
So, gentlemen, if that is all, is there anything else you require from
Do you want me to give you one?
No, I'm fine.
sure? They seem to be
my friend
free.
Steven here is also
Oh,
fine.
okay.
What would happen if we infuse multiple tattoos?
Well, what we've seen in the past is when you get multiple markings, the first one fades away because they cannot occupy the same vessel.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
What happens if you do all of them at the once?
We haven't tried. My assumption is either you would die or only the last one would be effective.
All right,
Maybe one
Odor.
day. Maybe one day.
We'll come back.
We have the evening if you change your mind.
You have time.
Well, Mr. What's next on your adventure plan, your tour? This campus looks nice. I'm ready to go to college here.
Oh, okay, excellent. We would love to have you here. You just have to, banish Solstice from your life and, join us.
Mm.
However,
More space magic is very tempting. So,
Wait, Odor, are you even allowed to leave Solstice?
I'd do anything for good space magic,
Odor, we have a job to do. But I am interested, Mr. Zona.
well, gentlemen, thank you again for all of your time. However, I must excuse myself. I've been held up in my meeting, and I must go finish up business.
Yes, of course, Mister. I will. We'll be sure to check in with you before we head out. Any place to eat around here you recommend? Any great like a tapas bar? We can really go for some pho.
We do have a wonderful noodle kitchen.
Wow, I like
Newts?
it. Hand pulled.
Is it a newt
I-
kitchen?
No, it is not a newt kitchen. That would be horribly offensive to our newtling friends.
You're right.
However, I must go.
Okay,
I must
thank you.
bid
Yes,
adieu.
absolutely.
And he goes to shake all of your
I
hands.
shake his hand.
I
How's his hand
hesitate
feel?
for a second, and I shake his hand.
Is it clammy and sweaty, or is it firm? Is it kind of like a soft grip?
Firm and bone dry.
Okay, wow. Calloused or smooth? Does he wear a glove full of Vaseline?
Calloused. He's a working man.
Absolutely.
He's got a firm
All
callous.
right, now we know.
Question. Does he seem like a rough man or a smooth man?
I just said that. Pay fucking attention.
Is he a smooth criminal by chance, or is he a rough criminal?
And you guys watch Azona Ri walk out of this tattoo parlor and back up towards his keep. And that is where we will end our session.
Oh, I didn't get to send Tallstag a message.
You're gonna have to save it. You're gonna have to save it.
Okay.
Oh man. Well,
So we're gonna have to
We're gonna
rest at the
die.
beginning of next, and then all of that
So when does the space magic kick in?
immediately.
That is stuff we will all talk about next time on the Goon Squad Radio podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I've been your Dungeon Master. You guys got anything to talk about, to plug, to
Well, of course, as usual, be sure to check out our social medias. You, of course, that's GSR_Intel, Instagram to get at the players, Twitter to get at the DM, and, just always stay out there. Of course, keep leaving those reviews. We are still looking out. We are not close to getting the gazpacho recipe out of there, and let me tell you what, that shit's bussin'.
Oh, at the gazpacho. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One day I'll release it. But yeah, thanks for listening
right.
to everyone who's still here with us right now.
We appreciate the support.
Mm-hmm.
and we'll catch you next time.
Get a good sniff in.
Yeah.
That was tasty.
I'm recording. I'll check it in a minute. No, ma'am. Thank you. Appreciate
Better
it.
fucking keep that in.
Mama DM showing up.